Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's off today.
Yep.
But we sure are glad that you had this opportunity to join us on your busy Saturday. Waiting for our next guest to show up. In the meantime, we need to play a little catch-up. We didn't have a chance to do our Conrad's Car Clinic, and Jeff has prepared a little something for the car clinic.
I have a little ditty. Now, Conrad, last week and the previous weeks, he was working on transmissions and things, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not versed or educated enough in transmissions. Conrad knows more about tranny than I do. So here we go. We're talking about, this is
that tranny or trannies?
Transmission.
Oh.
Yeah, transmission.
Okay.
That tranny. Mike suggested wiper blades, and we kind of went over it, him and I bantered back and forth, but wiper blades are something that you do need to replace, and you need to replace them at least every 6 months. And the reason being is Mike had an issue.
Right. It happened again. I don't drive the truck very often.
But it stays outside all the time.
And it stays outside. So I was driving it just last week. I was driving it, and I hit one of those rain showers. I go to turn them on, and I said a few ugly words. And, and I'm thinking,
was the rubber flopping on the windshield?
No, it wasn't. It just wasn't cleaning it. It was it dried out and everything. And I'm thinking, I just put those on there, and I got thinking, well, they've been on there probably 8 months now.
There you go.
Even though they haven't been used, it has been sitting outside in the sun every day.
They baked onto
You just don't think about it until it's too late.
Well, there's 6 steps. 6 steps to knowing that you need new wiper blades. And the first one is scratching. If you could see it or see the lines on it and hear the on the windshield,
it's too late.
It's a sign that you better get it done. Skipping, if they chatter on the windshield, that's another way of knowing that you better get them replaced because you're going to get caught. Streaking is another thing, and this all depends.
God,
because
I love streaking.
Well, you used to do that a long time ago. In fact, you still do it.
You don't do it quite as often, though.
No, but I do it in front of the dog as often as I can. It's the biggest thrill I get these days.
Not for her. Nevertheless, streaking, because it leaves lines and streaks onto the windshield, that's another sign. That's one of the 6 signs. Dirty windshield, if you run your blades and it still comes up dirty after you put the squirter on, there's your sign. Bent frames. Now, who hasn't had a bent frame in a while? If you've got a bent frame on that wiper arm or on the blade itself, time to change. And of course, seasonal. The last one would be seasonal and every 6 months. So we're in August. You should have put a new set of blades on a couple months ago. They'll last you through the winter because we do have rain coming up. Might have another freeze. Could have that snow and ice. Change your wiper blades every 6 months.
Yeah, we're heading into the prime time hurricane season. So if we're going to get any rain, if we get anything like that, it's going to be hard rain.
Well, Don predicted a cold front coming, so.
Well, I think so.
Yeah, there's a cold front coming.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure what month that's going to happen, but
we're having our blades changed before that. That would be great.
It's interesting you should say that because Katie's 2001 Ford Focus, Dad, I think I need new blades. I said, why do you say that? Well, the rubber is kind of flopping out there. Yeah, I'd say
that's a sign.
There's a sign. To be honest with you, there's no reason to buy really, really expensive wiper blades. If you buy the middle of the road wiper blade, just buy that. It's going to go away in 6 months. Know that when you go in.
Yeah, it's pretty much disposable. Used to you went in and said, okay, I need a set of wiper blades. Oh, what are you driving? Oh, well, here. That was it. Now, there's a whole aisle at the parts place. Got 7 or 8 different qualities.
You start at $2 and they go up to $20 a blade. I'm good.
Actually, in this, I'm going to contradict you. It says the lifespan of windshield wiper blades depends on the brand, the quality, and the weather conditions. So if you're like in Seattle or Portland and it's raining all the time, yeah, you're going to buy a better blade. If you're in Texas or Arizona or something, you're going to buy a little medium grade blade. So it all depends on your weather that you get. If it's a lot of rain, yeah, you're going to replace them more often.
Well,
Gary, ready?
And that kind of takes away some of the things. He is almost ready.
Right.
I can see him.
I've got him. So there you go. Thank you, Conrad.
Well, I'll let you go ahead and introduce him then, since this is yours. Do you even know
me or him?
I'm talking to you, Mars.
Oh, okay. So we The Lone Star Street Rod Association is a statewide organization. It's a statewide hot rod club. Been around for a long time, and Gary's going to kind of tell us about that. So we're talking with Gary Henry. He's actually the editor of their newsletter, which is a nice little magazine, actually. And but they use it as a newsletter, and it's pretty cool.
Well, let's see what he looks like.
There you go. Coming up.
Gary.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mike?
Doing great. How are you?
Not bad for an old guy.
Well, so Gary, it's great to have you join us this morning. What kind of hot rod do you have, sir?
Well, I have a 1929 Ford two-door sedan, and got that on the road about 15 years ago. We're pushing about almost 100,000 miles now, and it's been a kick.
So 100,000 miles. In other words, this is not a trailer queen.
Well, actually, it was on a trailer for about 3 miles. I lost a fuel pump outside of Waco about a couple of months ago, and had to call a record.
But generally speaking, at 100,000 miles, you don't trailer it around.
No.
That's what I was getting to, yes.
If it's on a trailer, it's been stolen or it's broke. So
okay.
One of the two.
Good. So what kind of motor does this thing have in it?
It's got a small block Ford, 347 conventional carburetor, AOD transmission, and the AC and all that stuff.
How's that carburetor working for you? I mean, you going to stick with the carburetor, or are you going to go the route of fuel injection?
Well, on this one, I'm staying with the carburetor for the time being. On the car I'm building, a 64 Fairlane, and I've got dual quad FI Tech fuel injection on it. Of course, that one's not running yet.
No, but I mean, you're looking toward the future. I mean, it took a little convincing for our other partner, Conrad DeLong, to convince me that really the way to go is, if you're going to do it right, is to go the fuel injection route.
Yep.
Because the carburetors, back in our day, that's all we ever had, so that's all we ever knew. Today, of course, I don't drive my hot rod near enough, but I can imagine that if I did, which isn't very often, the carburetors would become an issue. Stuck floats, clogged up needle seat, that sort of stuff.
Well, they were more simplistic back then, and you knew what you were doing. You carried a hammer and a flathead.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
And some duct tape.
Yep.
Yeah. So what kind of carburetor do you run on your Ford V8?
Well, on the 29, I've got a Edelbrock 650, and it's mechanical secondaries. So I've only had trouble with that one time. It was, of course, it always happens at an inopportune time and embarrasses you.
Yes.
So.
Well, those kind of things it's meant to embarrass you. You kind of set yourself up for it. But you drive yours so much that I would imagine you don't really have too much of a problem with it sitting around in the garage for months on end without it being driven.
Well, let's just say this, that when you're driving a 29 like that, they're basically a small car, and when it's chopped 5 inches, it becomes a kind of a hate-love relationship.
Yes,
so,
it does.
After a long drive, it sits for a little while, guarantee you.
Yeah,
You got to get over it. Got to recover.
5-inch chop.
The
Wow.
5-inch chop. So, did you build this car yourself?
I did for the most part. I did not paint this car. I've done custom painting in the past, but didn't do it on this one. And I had Dripping Paint and Body out in Dripping Springs. They did Pete Perry did the chop, and then filled the top end, and then also did the paint job.
What color is it, if I may ask?
Beg your pardon?
What color is it?
Well, it's hurt your eyes yellow.
Well, I was going to guess it's either red or it's yellow.
Well, we mixed a special color using a yellow tint tinting color with a pearl, a copper pearl over that.
Nice. And you, how old is the paint job on there now?
Well, it's 15 years old.
Wow.
And it's still holding up fine?
It is, except where I've messed it up.
You know, to nowadays, when you want a custom job of anything, it takes anywhere from 14 to 18 to 2 years. When you had yours done, how long did it take to get the chop and to get the paint and to get it to where you liked it?
Well, you know, I can say that anybody that owns a hot rod, does it ever get to the point where you like it? I mean, there's always something to do. Yep. But no, this one took, and looking back, it took about 4 to 5 years to, from the time that I drove the original car off the trailer to getting it back on the road. So
in that time frame, did you have other projects or other cars that you were either owning or buying and selling?
No, the only thing I had going on at that time was work, and then work kept me on the road quite a bit. So I didn't have as much time to work on this car as I have had in years past.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the Lone Star Street Rod Association. You president of that?
No, and of course, having been active in homeowners associations and other things like that, I don't care to be the president. I'm only the editor of the Street Life, but that's the newsletter. The Lone Star Street Rod Association was started about 1974, something like that. And there were like 7 guys that had a meeting there on the grounds of the state capitol. And then that turned into about 16. And that was in 1974, 74. And it started from there. Today we've got about around 700 members. And that's statewide and several members outside of the state. It's a pretty viable organization. We do a awesome state run at Granbury every June, and of course we also provide this, I'd say, this wonderful, magnificent,
very nice
newsletter. So. This comes out on a monthly basis. We try to promote communication between the clubs and the members around the state. We try to promote safety. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, it's a good organization. We print a schedule of events around the state, and that comes out with the newsletter every month. So that's it in a nutshell.
Let me ask you this: do you have a for sale section?
Yes, absolutely. And for members, that doesn't cost anything. If you do put in a picture, there's a nominal charge for that. But
well, I'm not asking about that. I'm asking for myself because I might be in the market for something like a street rod.
Yeah, we get ads every now and then. It's not on a continuous basis, but somebody who has something to sell, I'll put in parts, pieces, and complete cars. So
if I wanted to say, Gary, I'm kind of looking for a 34 something or another.
5-inch chop.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty open as to what I'm looking for. I really don't know, but I would like to get into the street rod thing. Mm-hmm. I'll bet you probably know somebody, either yourself or somebody that you know, could help me probably locate one or two that I might be able to choose from.
Well, let's just say that I do know a few people around the state, and with phone calls, I would imagine we could find something.
So yeah. Let me understand something. You have to be a member of the club to get the newsletter, or you can get the newsletter separately?
You have to be a member of
okay. All right.
Yeah, but
You got to know somebody,
Yeah,
Jeff.
I know Gary.
God.
Gary,
Hook
yeah, I
me
mean,
up. Yeah.
let's tell how much is a yearly membership that includes the newsletter, the calendar of events, and all the other things.
just for the nominal fee of $25 a month.
And he's a salesman,
Yeah.
too.
You too can have this.
Yeah.
But wait,
Too.
there's more.
And I mean, when I do the newsletter, I figure that if the pictures aren't pretty and the words aren't neat and interesting or funny, then, what's the use? So I try to make it entertaining. I try to make it informative. And I'll cover events, around the state. I have covered, in this past 6 months, I've covered a museum. I've covered a car build and a hot rod shop, and also several of the local runs around here.
And in the next edition, you're going to have a whole feature on your actual appearance here on the Wheel Timeautomotivecar show, aren't you?
The same thing.
Well, what I will do is I always have a column in the very front, and I can almost guarantee you that it'll be mentioned.
Fantastic.
Yay.
We made the funny papers.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, listen, man, it's great to talk to you. And no, I truly am interested. I have a 20-year-old Corvette, and I enjoy the Corvette, but I've always had this in the back of my mind, this hankering, if you will, for a hot rod, a street rod. And, the older that I get, the more I kind of am headed in that direction, I think.
Yeah.
Could I make a suggestion?
Sure, please.
Well, when you, as my pastor says, when you get into that season of life. So I would suggest one without a chopped top and one with a top.
Yes. One with, yes. Well, most definitely have a top, and it also has to have air conditioning. Now, as far as, automatic or manual transmission, I could probably go either way. Yeah. I would, since the car is relatively light, would I have to have power steering? Probably not. I could add that on at another time. I mean, come see, come saw, whatever the case may be. I think that I'm flexible.
Well, with the with the aftermarket parts and pieces today, you can put a power steering rack and pinion on anything, just about, and it makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well,
personally, I try to keep it a little bit old school, and I don't have power steering on anything except the SUV and my pickup.
Yeah. Well, no, I can relate to that. I think that my biggest problem is that I know that after I get out of the Corvette, which is a manual transmission, every once in a while I have a little pang in my left knee. So I think it's just there to say, you may want to consider an automatic in the future.
Yeah. Paddle shifts.
That reminds me of an article I did in the Street Life. I've been sending articles to the newsletter since 1975, and then finally got tapped for the editor's spot. But I did an article on I was building the car, and I was going to put in a 5-speed, and then got diagnosed with arthritis, and it changed my mind to go ahead and put in an automatic.
Yep.
So you can appreciate my thought process.
Yes.
Gary, it's great to talk to you, Gary. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your Saturday to talk to us. Gary Henry, Lone Star Street Rod Association. I know you got a Facebook page and probably got your own web page and all that stuff. And we're going to post it on ours so everybody can get a hold of you.
I look forward to the newsletter.
Yeah, that too. So thanks, Gary. We appreciate you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll send you a copy of the latest one, so you can get an idea of what we do.
Perfect.
We look forward to that, and we appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Gary Henry, Lone Star. All right, time now for a couple of headlines. I got a whole stack of things I wanted to get. The arrests of a woman and her adult son in Katy, Texas have led Fort Bend County investigators to uncover what they believe is an organized crime ring involving stolen high-end luxury cars.
I read that in our neighborhood paper.
This is from Channel 13. The Sheriff's Office revealed Thursday the details into the arrests of 47-year-old Naughty Wynn.
Yep.
That's almost like Naughty Wynn, and her 32-year-old son, Alex Van Lee. An anonymous tip led auto theft unit detectives of the Sheriff's Office to their Katy home, 1800 block of Bray Ridge Trail. It was there they found what they were told were stolen vehicles.
Yep.
2016 Mercedes-Benz S550, value $95,000.
Yes, sir.
21 Mercedes-Benz S580, valued at $130,000. Audi R8 valued at $140,000, BMW X6 valued at $65,000, Lexus LX 570 valued at $98,000. So apparently, they got a big garage.
Well, the way I read it in our paper was that they were stolen cars, but they were being sold to a dealership and then resold. 6
motor vehicle companies identified in the stolen ring include Auto Source of Houston, McKenna Motors, LLC, A1 Imports, Freeman Auto Sales, PR1 Sales, LLC, McKenna of Houston, LLC. Sheriff's Office believes vehicles purchased from the businesses may be tied to the ring, and they urge anyone who bought from them or from Wynn and Lee to come forward to the auto theft unit investigators. By the way, if your car was stolen, guess what? It ain't yours no more. Wynn and Lee were each charged with second-degree felony theft of property. Yikes.
Wow.
So if you got your car from any of those dealerships, I want to check it out. Ford Motor Company said Thursday it needs to replace molded-in color hardtop roofs on all Bronco SUVs built to date, which will delay production and delivery to owners by months. Automaker in a letter to customers said the molded-in color hardtops on both 2-door and 4-door Broncos suffer from a quality issue that creates an unsatisfactory appearance when exposed to extreme water and humidity.
It's like a gel coat.
The automaker said it doesn't expect replacement roofs until October and will begin notifying owners of a delivery timetable in September.
I saw the lot that they had. This is an expansion of Broncos, just thousands of them.
Yeah. So that's not good.
Nope.
Sorry, Ford. And sorry for the owners that put money down waiting for their Bronco.
There was already a recall on the small one.
And this is a fun story. It's common for a service technician to take a customer's vehicle for a short test drive after repair to make sure everything works right again, right? But an employee at a Chevrolet dealership in California did more than just casually circle the block in the customer's Corvette C8. Technician zipped along a crowded freeway, racing another car at speeds up to 150, apparently not realizing that the Corvette's performance data recorder was capturing it all on the car's video.
Doing some research.
The owner posted the video online and contacted the dealership, Fremont Chevrolet. The store initially offered him $500 worth of interior and exterior detailing, but after further discussion agreed to cover the car with an extended service contract. Dealership also asked him to take the video off YouTube, which he did, though it had already been reposted elsewhere. Dealership has been really, really gracious, the Corvette owner said, who had taken the car in for service because of a noise in the engine bay. In a brief statement on Facebook, Fremont Chevrolet said it's been working with a very understandable vehicle owner, and the staff member has been dealt with appropriately.
Well, you know how it is. The mechanic's got to go drive the car sometimes just so they can figure out what that customer is really complaining about.
I saw the video. That wasn't what he was doing.
I haven't seen it.
He was zipping in and out of freeway traffic, which was very heavy at the time.
Well, you know, he's trying to figure out, what the circumstance.
You just go ahead and make those excuses because we know you and your on-ramp acceleration test. Ford Motor Company is preparing to inform Mustang Mach-E customers that the global semiconductor shortage will delay some vehicle deliveries by a minimum of 6 weeks. No surprise there. Mach-E production at Ford's Cuautitlan, Mexico assembly plant will continue.
Where?
The delay concerns vehicles that have already been built and are awaiting chips.
More chips.
More chips. We need more chips. You know, if they just go to Beaver Nuggets, we wouldn't have this chip shortage.
On the Beaver Lounge.
That's through the Beaver Lounge. Yeah. Right. It's kind of like...
Beaver Nuggets in the Beaver Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of put a little tune to it. You could have a little song.
Well, you know, we should trademark it, and we can.
There are guys around town that will make songs out of the stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know them.
I do. I know a couple.
Yeah. Jeff is, the drummer in a band called Red Card. Mm-hmm. So you must go see Jeff.
Yep. More Jeff.
Because we need more Jeff. Just saying.
Yeah.
Senate passed a $1 trillion infrastructure plan that would represent the biggest burst of spending in U.S. public works in decades. Just saying.
Yep.
Guess what? Our kids are going to have to pay for all of that eventually.
Yes, that's sad.
And before we die, we're going to start paying for it.
Yep. Well, we need to have more kids.
No, we don't.
Oh.
No, we're done with that.
Okay.
Took care of all that.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Mars?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full.
I'm looking forward to the next hour. And I understand that we have more guests.
Yes, we do. In fact, we're getting them set up right as we speak.
We're hooking it up.
Yeah.
We're getting hooked up.
We got a new sponsor. Last week they started, Garages of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of hard to explain what it is. It's not a company that goes into your garage and fixes it up. It's not that at all.
By no means.
But we're going to get that all straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to have a review of the Mazda 3 hatchback turbo. And then later on, we're going to talk to Dale Hulquist, the proprietor at Elite Glass and Trim. And he's going to fill us in on the latest of all of that. He also knows the Emmons brothers.
Yes.
And so, and Stan Holt. These are all drag racing friends of mine that...
We had one of the brothers on last week.
We did.
Gary.
So
Gary.
we're making the rounds.
Yeah.
In fact, whenever I was talking to Dale, I told him, I said, well, we had Gary on last week. He said, yeah, I saw that. He's really good at that. I don't know if I can do that good.
He does just fine.
Does Dale have any Wallies?
Dale does. Matter of fact, I'm from a Houston race.
We need to get a Wally on there. Dale, put your Wally on.
Love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're going to take a quick break now, and we'll be back with more of our show right after this.
Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the most sought-after models in the Houston area today. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy to get to on Highway 225 near Beltway 8 in Pasadena. Whether it's online or in person, you're welcome like one of the family. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday, August 21st at 2 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Loopy Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos at Loopy's inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in at Loopy's in Katy and Kirby, August 21st, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The In Wheel Time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. Paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com.